Welcome back to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Wicked Energy Gum, a fast-acting alternative to energy drinks. It's 5 times faster without filling up on liquids. I'm Jeremy Elliott. I'm joined by Ryan Hand. Ryan, we have a third seat in today because we have 2 guests in studio. We're going to have Lance Dewease. And we're going to have Cory Eliason. Big show today.
Big happenings.
Go ahead.
You got through the intro in one shot. That was even more
How
impressive.
about that?
Maybe you just need to get rid of the computer and,
Well, it's funny. I forgot the cord.
Yeah.
So I drained the battery.
I've been through that once already.
I'm impressed that you haven't talked about your weekend exploits yet in our picking.
I'll let it go.
You're disappointing Jovan Schultz in California. We thought you wouldn't get one sentence in without saying
No.
what was going on there.
I'm a good winner.
A good winner? I don't know about that.
I am.
Well, we'll talk about that in our 5th and final segment.
That's going to be like a half-hour segment.
Is that where
then I'll talk about
we're
it.
going to make up for it?
Yeah.
We're going to jump into the results from last week and our thoughts on what happened. Obviously, locally, Williams Grove gets banged out. Weather again. And then moving over to Port Royal Speedway on Saturday, we had 30 cars. It was the highest car count of the year. And a lot of invaders, obviously, preparing for this weekend's Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions visit. They have a 4-day weekend coming up. We'll talk about that again in segment 5. But I think guys were prepping. Cory Eliason came in. We had all the guys from Western PA. John Garvin came in as well. I just think Port Royal benefited from that. And also Danny Dietrich up there as well. Blaine Heimbach gets the win. It was his first win since June. I think it was June of 2008 or 17.
Yes.
So it's been a long time coming. He does this. I mean, he looked really good. Wasn't good early. Lucas Wolf got to the front in the first lap after starting in the second row. But then Blaine Heimbach ran him down and was just better, I thought, on the bottom of the speedway. And obviously ended that long losing streak.
I think there's something to be said for a little bit of testing. I know Blaine was up there on Thursday. They had an open practice session at Port Royal, and obviously it helped him quite a bit because the first week he was definitely off the pace. And I think if you can take the time to do that, I definitely think it helps. I know it helped us when we raced, and I love going to him. I mean, I hated the car wash, but
Yeah,
honestly, I felt like the more times you can do it, the more you learn. And I think Blaine probably say the same thing right now.
I would agree with that. Lincoln Speedway. Car count dipped a little bit. They lost Ryan Smith to Port Royal. And TJ Michael didn't come in because of some of the action that was going on in Ohio. So they were down a little bit, but still a good race. Freddie Raymer did you solid.
Yes, he did.
You took him. Passed Brian Monteith on the last lap.
Who you took?
Yeah, okay. I get it. See, this is going to just slowly build to segment 5. So, look, I mean, Freddie Raymer started 9th. That is the deepest anybody's come from as far as starting position to win. It was the 3rd last lap pass this year in Central PA in like 11 shows. So, I mean, they said the racing was really good at Lincoln, and Freddie, I mean, ran down Monteith, who I think Monteith was laboring a little bit.
He looked like he just wasn't making speed at that point, which is very not normal for him.
Right.
I mean, normally he makes speed no matter what there. But I felt like I watched the highlights and I just felt like I think laboring was a great way to say it because it just, I don't even know if he was struggling. It just didn't look like it was going. Like if I didn't know any better, I'd think maybe like the motor was burning up or something, but I'm sure that wasn't the case. But he just couldn't make speed anymore. And Freddie, actually, I think Freddie passed him on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, Brian just does not look good on the bottom there.
No.
It looks uncomfortable. So, Babs Motor Speedway on Sunday. Danny Dietrich, 3rd win in 8 starts this year, drew the outside pole, but he got passed again, which happened earlier this year when Anthony Macri passed him at Lincoln. Danny got him on the last lap. This time he didn't wait till the last lap, but he got passed.
I felt like I watched probably the last I missed the first 10 laps, so I wasn't sure who was leading, but I think I did see Brock pass Danny. Danny kind of got complacent in lap traffic.
Yeah, Brock passed him coming out at 2. Brock Zerfoss on the outside. Danny went to the bottom.
Yeah.
And he just screwed up.
But I think sometimes, like, he knows he's got a pretty good car right now. I think he just got a little complacent. He kind of let Brock go. He didn't try to get him back the next corner or anything. And, you know, he said, when we get back into lap traffic, I'm going to pass you and let you sit. And it's pretty much what he did.
I like what I see from Danny because I do see a smoother Danny Dietrich, not taking as many chances. Not that he was ever wild, but he sometimes did get.
Sometimes he goes for broke, though.
Yeah, and I think he's really slowed that down, and I'm seeing this getting past, not getting rattled, and then coming back and getting the lead back. But he has 3 wins. I think he's going to have a good year. I really do. I think he wants to obviously get to double digits. I think he gets there. Does he get to 15 races? 15 win.
I think he could.
15 wins.
I think he could.
I do too. I mean, he's 3 right out of the gate. Now, the drawing part's done, but we have a lot of time trial shows. So we'll see.
Yeah, but he's going to hop around and get to shows where he's not going to be handicapped. You know, the Grove is probably going to be the only place he's going to be handicapped really all year. So I think he's going to hop around, you know, on Saturday nights and make sure that he's not handicapped, which, hey, I don't blame him.
No, I don't either. Anthony Macri started 13th, came to 4th. Kid looks fast.
Looks really good right now. Yep.
I'm still impressed. We hope to have him on the show in the next couple weeks sometime. I think there's nothing to be ashamed of there. I think he's having a really, really good year. Cory Eliason had a good performance at BAPS, finished 5th. Mm-hmm. It was probably a little different for him than what he's used to.
It probably is more closely.
It's closer than Port.
Well, to anything in California that he's been on. I'm sure this is more closely related to anything in California.
I think he probably liked the cushion. We'll ask him when we talk to him in segment 3. Selinsgrove Speedway. You said last week a car count should be up.
Ooh.
They got 15.
I was wrong about something.
Oh. Bub.
Gotcha.
I mean, 15 cars?
I don't know if there was a URC car there.
That's cause for concern for me.
Was there a URC car there?
I don't know who's going to run URC. That's the thing.
I don't know that there was any help there. I mean, but I'll tell you what, I was impressed with Reinhardt. He had awesome speed.
Kyle Reinhardt gets the win. Drove by Davey Franick.
Yep.
John Westbrook's car is fast. The question becomes, does he finish?
Yep.
Does the car finish? It finished. He won. Reinhardt's going to run 25 races in that car. And he's going to run 25-ish in the Capital Renegades machine, the number 91. And he's moving to Pennsylvania from New Jersey.
Nice.
Told me that last night.
I don't know why you wouldn't have done that a long time ago. I lived in New Jersey for a little bit.
But I think he's going to win more than just that one race. If that car holds together.
Yeah, he will. He'll win more than one.
Well,
absolutely. Honestly, that car always has speed. It always looks good. Even when they ran a 410 like at the Grove and stuff,
right.
I always watch the car and I said, man, I wish we could get our car to look like that car looks good. It looks right. Like it's not all hiked up and it looks good. Like it rolls around nice. It looks like it's easy to drive.
Well, that may be, but man, Westbrook's car just doesn't finish.
No, but they got to finish.
It did Saturday.
They did. Kudos.
World of Outlaws. We're going to hit the road a little bit. David Gravel. We had Philip Dietz on last week, crew chief for JJR. Wins his 2nd and 4 starts. He has 3 top 5s in 11 World of Outlaw shows. All 3 of them have come in the last 4 races. He finished 3rd. 2 wins and a 3rd. Is this team meshing or things getting better? Do you expect this to continue?
I think Philip said last week that, like they needed a little bit of time to get things. I know they've changed some things in their cars. I can visually see it,
right.
Just in pictures and stuff. So, but I think Gravel's a really good driver. Yeah. He's been around the tracks for a while. Those guys have a fast car at I would say 75% of the tracks they go to, their car is really fast. So I think it's going to be a good combination.
Well, the other thing is David's not a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
He can run the bottom, the top. He won on the bottom at Hanford.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did.
And then he came back, this week, ran bottom and top.
Yep.
Got to the front, running the bottom. Looked really good on the top. That's what I like to see from a driver, but it's a World of Outlaws driver. Most of those guys are like that. So I know people label Donnie as a guy who doesn't run the top. Look, I've seen it.
He can do it when he has to. He doesn't like to do it.
Well, I just think he wants to finish. I just don't. I don't think he wants to knock the fence down because he's.
When you can drive through the middle half the time, why would you go to the top?
Why would you do that? Brad Sweet finished second at USA Raceway, wins at Arizona Speedway, so he gets the win. Takes the point lead by 4 points over Donnie Schatz.
Are you scared yet or not?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
No.
No, but I'll tell you what. I think Brad ran 11 races. He has like
10 top fives or something
which
like
is
that.
almost ludicrous.
It is, and I get it, but again, now we come back to the Midway. They're in Texas this week. We'll talk about Devil's Bowl. Then you get up into the Midwest, and you come to PA, and Donnie's. And here's the thing, Donnie did this week what I thought couldn't happen was he went backwards in 3 straight World of Outlaw shows. I thought I was gold Friday night at USA Raceway. He wins the dash. I thought I was going to pick up a win on you.
Yep.
And he dropped the 4th.
Yep.
And I'm like.
And who won? Okay.
Brad Sweet. I get it. Okay. I understand you gained a spot. I get it. But then time trial awful on Saturday night at Arizona Speedway.
Was that, I didn't see time trials. Was that a relation to the track conditions or not really?
I don't know what it was. He was terrible.
Okay.
16th out of like 21 or 22 cars, but he drove up the 4th.
Up the 4th.
So I'm convinced.
Actually, I think I had him on that night.
Yeah, you did have.
Yeah, and I was concerned.
And I had Brian Brown who dropped out.
I was really concerned when I seen the time trial.
You're the luckiest guy I know.
Yeah, I'm really lucky.
It's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Lucky.
To me. But Donnie will be fine.
No,
it'll be
no
fine.
doubt. But I'll tell you what, Brad's been really, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if Donnie has a couple 3 races in a row where he drops back and stuff, like Brad's consistent, man, top 5 every night.
And Darren finished 6th and 7th this past week.
Yep. I expect that program to maybe pick up again here.
Yeah, it will.
Darren had a really good last year at Devil's Bowl.
Right,
so
right.
I think they'll be okay.
Just some more results. Justin Peck sweeps the Fast Series in Ohio.
It's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. Joey Saldana was second one night.
Yep.
Watch Buddy Kofoid. I'm telling you. He was at Attica. Now, Attica was won by Cale Conley, who got his first career Attica win on Saturday. Buddy Kofoid came from 11th to 3rd. Then he ran with the Fast Series at Waynesfield, spun, went to the rear, came up and got 10th.
Nice.
I'm telling you.
Good.
Just mark my words. I haven't had a lot right over the last 3 weekends, but I'm telling you, he's going to be good. We'll talk maybe Corey, when Corey comes in studio, we'll talk about that. He's raced with Buddy numerous times. But some good action in Ohio. Cale Conley at Attica, Fast Series at Atomic and Waynesfield. Both of them go to Justin Peck. It's good to be known for winning races instead of getting busted for marijuana.
Yep.
I'm not to bring up something sore, but let's face it.
No, the kid's pretty quick.
When people forget he beat the All-Stars a couple years back. So it's good. I mean, looks like everything's good there. Kokomo, Chad Bosflug and Justin Grant were sprint car winners. Justin Grant's going to have a big year in midgets and sprint cars. No doubt about it. Just watch it. Dominic Scelzi wins the KWS opener in California. First win in the Roth car.
I thought you meant for you that weekend.
That's been the first win for me in a bunch of weekends. Now I got to take him. Now I got to take him to Applebee's.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Absolutely. Boy, you're in trouble. Oh man,
it's game on because I think Dom can back up the truck.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Corey about that. He probably knows about that too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap up segment 1, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. We'll be back in segment 2 with Lance Dewease. Stay tuned. Welcome back to segment 2, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. Joining us in studio is Lance Dewease, driver Don Kreitz Jr., owned number 69K. Lance, how you doing? And thank you for coming in.
I'm doing great. Pleasure.
Well, we talk to you so much because, well, you win a lot. So, I mean,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But you only have one race in the books this year so far. And everybody else has raced 8, 9, 10 times or whatever. I know you have a lot of experience. Do you kind of feel, though, that, going into an all-star weekend like this, it's first big weekend of the year, do you ever feel like you're behind a little bit?
No, not really. I mean, just in that one race, I could tell the difference from when I first got in the car in warm-ups to during the feature. I felt way better, felt like my timing was back, my rhythm was back, and the mental end of it, how quick everything reacts to you. Everything has to slow down. It probably took me half the feature to get that to do it, and I feel pretty good. And it was a pretty fast racetrack, so it was actually a good test for me.
Now, you didn't get a chance to race the whole feature. Had some motor issues, I believe.
Yeah, and we were fortunate enough to catch it right before the end and didn't hurt it. So, that's a big issue with us. We have to watch laps on our motors and, the budget that they race on. So we're very careful on what we do with motors. And I never has been one to run motors when they weren't right. If it's running hot and it's 5 laps in, I'm going to bring it in. I mean, it's just, I started with nothing and, race with my own stuff. So I know how expensive all that stuff is.
So if you are a little behind, or so to speak, how do you catch up when the All-Stars are coming in? I mean, it's not like it's just a regular show at Williams Grove. You have I guess you're going to race probably Williams Grove and Port Royal.
Yeah, and actually right now we're thinking about going to Virginia on Thursday. We're kind of up in the air yet. They're preparing for that. It's still up to Davey. He didn't say no when they first talked to him about it, but basically we're going to look and see what the weather looks like. One of the reasons we're thinking about going to Virginia on Thursday because Friday don't look very good right now. So they want to race a little bit to get everything going. They're not so much worried about me as much as probably they just want to race and make sure everything's right. I felt like we were pretty good Friday, probably better than what everybody thinks we are.
Yeah.
I felt like we were pretty good, had some speed. So I think we'll be all right. And we're going to the 2 tracks I'm pretty good at.
Slightly.
Yeah, you won a few at a couple of them. Jeez. What about like physically, Lance? You've only run one race, and like I know you can go to the gym and do all that stuff, but like physically in a race car, it's a little different. Like your neck, like a lot of guys complain their necks get tired, stuff like that.
No, the biggest thing with me is breathing initially, and normally that's like a heat race or the first half, like the Friday that we raced the Grove with how wet it was, how fast it was. The heat race, by the end of the heat race, I knew I was racing again.
Yep.
And then first part of the feature, you breathe heavy, but by the end, it kind of calms down. And to me, I've never been a big person as far as working out, because I've known a lot of people that work out that get played out in these race cars, and I just think you have to race. And me and TJ's actually called me, a week or so ago about he's having a little bit of issues because of his health problems.
Oh yeah.
In the race car. I don't want to say falling out of the seat, just things are happening too quick yet to him. And he was trying to work out and doing that, but nothing's helping. And I said, you just need to race. I mean, you have to race. I remember one year we were at Ocala, and you know how Ocala can be when it's really wet. It's very demanding. And Raymer worked all winter one year with a helmet and weights on his neck to make his neck strong and on. The first night was wet as heck. And he come up, he was worn out afterwards, played out, couldn't hold his neck up. And that was kind of before the seats we have now. Yeah. And he said do you work out? And I said, no. And he said, where you played out? I said, yeah, I couldn't hold my neck up anymore. And, you can't simulate the G-forces. I just think, nowadays it's a lot easier because the seats. You don't have to, my head's against the seat almost just idling around. So you could not even really have to try to hold your head up. You could just lay it over there if you wanted to and not even try. But I have a pretty strong neck. When I broke it, 8 years ago, the guy was shocked how strong my neck was. So I'm not, too concerned about it. We'll race enough and get back in race shape. And the tracks will slow down a little bit, which helps the driver with that.
For sure. Hey, Ed, this is the first kind of big weekend of the year, so to speak. All-Stars are coming in. Does that any extra excitement for you guys, or just, we're just going to the races to win?
Well, we're going to win. It's it's what we gear up for is all these shows. So that's one reason why they're thinking about doing the Virginia deals. Just make sure we're kind of ready. I think we'll be all right.
Doesn't have anything to do with that nice purse down there, does it?
No, because originally, they weren't going to do it. We have it on our schedule, but there's a lot of things on our schedule we're not sure about. But it was just one of those deals that after, the other race, and we got a different motor we're running with the possibility of the Grove raining out, they want to get some racing before Port on Saturday. So, it's, I told them before, you tell me you want to go race, we'll go race. You tell me we don't want to race, we won't race. It don't matter. Whatever they want to do, because I know the financial end of it. So, it's going to be neat. I've never been to Virginia, so if we go, it's going to be neat. From my recollection of the place, it's pretty wet and fast normally the times they've been there. So I don't really know what to expect.
Pretty awesome facility from pictures I've seen.
Yeah, couple big late model races there, and they get around pretty good. Now the All-Stars are a big donut for 35 at Williams Grove. You're really, really good at Williams Grove. Why is that place so tricky for invaders to come in? What is it about it? We hear all the time it's so hard to get a hold of. Guys don't know what to do there. What makes it so tricky? Nobody ever tells us why it's tricky.
I don't know if I know the answer to that. I have my opinion on that.
Well, it's not tricky for you.
Well, I grew up racing there. I learned to race there a good bit. But there's no other place like it. I mean, you basically got two quarter-mile drag strips with corners at the end. So you have to have a really good handling car. You have to have motors. But with how the car handles and what the car does going down the straightaways, you can be, and Ryan could kind of know what I'm talking about, is other places like Lincoln Speedway. If we come off the corner and we're stood up, we don't have enough wing speed to get it back down. Williams Grove, you can come off the corner with the left rear tire off the ground. I'll guarantee you halfway down the straightaway, you're buried left. And that's where I think there's two things to me. If you listen to anybody, if they complain about the cars being left so hard at the Grove, well, part of that, you have to live with that. Because if you fix that, you're going to be all messed up in the corners. And I think that's the hardest part. They're not easy to drive down the straightaways there because they're left so hard. They move a lot under the bridge. And then you have to be able to get through the tight corners with speed to carry your momentum. But it's just not like Eldora or even Port Royal or Sealands Grove where you got big sweeping corners that you can just carry your speed. Your car has to have grip and make corner speed. And it's a hard thing to do. You look over the years, there's not too many people come in the first time and run the place really good. There's people that run the place pretty good when it's wet.
Right.
But when it gets slick, it's a very hard place to drive and run right.
So one of the guys is obviously Steve Kinzer, who you ran against there. He came in and was good.
Yeah. I mean, his win percentage there is pretty unbelievable.
It's
really.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And Schatz is the same way. Now, he probably struggled initially, but Schatz' win percentage there is pretty darn good. So it takes a certain type of person, I think, driver-wise. And what's funny is you look at the guys that run really good there, it's not the aggressive or the overly aggressive type drivers.
Right. Patient.
You have to have, you think about me, Greg, Fred. You look at the people on top of the win list.
Yeah.
And none of them you would consider an overly aggressive drivers. Sammy has his wins there, but it's not like he's won a ton there. Then Steve, who can be both ways aggressively and drive smooth as heck. And then Schatz. I mean, he's just pretty impressive with what those guys have done. But I think you think you can drive it harder than what you really can.
You've always, and I asked you this before, but Doug Wolfgang is one of the guys you idolized. Mm-hmm. And if you watch Donnie, because I remember Doug Wolfgang said, watch Don Christ Jr. when, he was coming up. Do you kind of model yourself after a guy like that? I mean, everybody has their own characteristics. It's kind of like a basketball player. Everybody plays a certain game. But do you kind of feel like you have some characteristics of a guy like that? Patience, not hitting the same hole 3 laps in a row, which I've seen Steve Kinzer do that.
Well, sometimes going through the hole's the fastest way to go.
Well, this is true.
So that's the difference in learning where you need to go. I pride myself on being able to run both places everywhere on the racetrack. A lot of people, now since the car I'm in, thinks we only are good on the bottom. But if you look at our records the last 3 years, we can win anywhere and we can win around the top. And we can run the bottom, the pass cars, but we can run the top with anybody. So we're, pretty versatile as far as I'm concerned, driving wise. And I think that's what makes guys like me, Greg was, Fred,
right,
Donnie Schatz. Yeah, I laugh. Everybody talks about Donnie, run the bottom, but he'll move to the top when he has to, and he can do it as best as ever. Now, he's not going to bang off the curb.
No.
Because the cars are not designed to do that. They're hooked up into the racetrack, and you don't have to do that. So, I think you have to learn to run both places. And if you look through the history of guys that are kind of one-dimensional around the top, they're not very successful in the bigger paying shows in the money, where all the money's at.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Purses. You're one of the. If I'm going to talk, because we're talking about purses in our next segment, there's been some blowback, obviously, being top heavy some places and then taking big dips. I've talked to you about purses many times. You win a lot of races, yet you're one of the guys that will say, cut a little off top, spread it down, which I find ironic because you win a lot. Obviously, you want to get the most you can, but I agree with you. I think you're going to want to spread it down through. What do you look for in a purse? Because to me, I don't think it affects car count at all anymore.
It don't, but what you're seeing is the effect of the purses not going up properly.
Okay,
for
explain.
20 years. I'm going to use Port Royal Tuxford 50 as a perfect example.
This is your favorite one.
And in a race that I've won a lot, in a race that $50,000 benefited me, they'd have been better off leaving that race $20,000 and take that other 30 and put it back through and pay $2,000 to start or whatever. And that would have been better for racing, better for the race teams, and better down the road. Williams Grove, Lincoln, whoever you want to call, they could pay $3,000 to win. But if they could pay $3,000 to win, $800 or $1,000 to start on a weekly show, the car counts would eventually come back some. What has happened is the purse structure has never changed from almost the time I started, back through. Very little, but back through. And the cost has, as everybody knows. So
yeah.
I just don't think, and also know the flip side of that is it's easier to just add it to one spot than back through, because when you add it back through, it costs a lot more money to do that. So it's a catch-22, but I think the purses, Williams Grove, for example, the yellow breeches stuff, they pay back through more, and that's some of their higher car counts, I think.
Well, the thing is, here's where I disagree, and this is, you're perfect to have talk about this. Dirt Classic has pumped that purse. It was $1,500 to start last year. That's pretty good, and they had the lowest car count in the existence of that race. Also, the yellow breeches races, it's hanging under 24 cars. I have the numbers. It's alarming to me. I don't get it.
But you're not going to see an overnight change.
Okay. Fair enough.
You're not going to see. But I am telling you right now, from a person that started and ran his own team and had to make ends meet, if they don't fix it, you'll keep losing cars.
Oh, no. Ryan and I talk about this every week.
And the problem is right now, and some of the problem right now is just not purse. Some of the problem now compared to like when I started is there's so much racing.
Too many divisions.
Too many divisions, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have 305s, 358s, 360s, 410s. When I started,
non-winged.
Forgot about that part.
Don't get me started on it. Yeah, don't get me started.
But when I started, my two options from micros was super sportsman or sprint cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now you have all this dilution of the divisions, and people might take this the wrong way, but the best thing that could probably happen in our sport is for the 358s to go away. Yeah, and that's nothing against the 358
or
guys.
Combined with the 360s somehow.
Yeah, well, I see that coming eventually. That, to me, is going to have to happen for both of them to survive. But what those guys spend on motors to race for the purses they race for is pretty, right. It's not a cheap sport. 305, a working man can kind of go do a 305 with how they have the rules structured and what they do with the engines. But with what a 358 and 360 cost nowadays, you're almost better going to use 410s and go at least race for a little bit more money and try, keep the funds a little higher than what you do for 358s, 360s.
I would have to agree a lot on all the purse stuff because I think it will take time. but I also agree that the top-heavy purses are not always the best scenario.
No.
I think it's got to be sprinkled. I think you got to get the small car owners to come to them races so that they have something, hey, only one guy wins. Only one guy makes $50,000. It's usually you. But,
yeah.
But, that's how it is. Hey, did the 69K come along at the perfect time in your career or what?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you've
where
known,
would you,
you've known me.
We talked about it, where would you be right now, literally in your career if
I wouldn't be racing.
Yeah.
I mean, we were, me and my wife had discussions at that stage, and actually, me and my old owner, Donnie Owens, we all already kind of had a thing in place for me to. I started working for him part time and just kind of were getting the stepping stone for life after racing. Mm-hmm. And when Dietz said they were done, we were kind of more or less done. Kind of didn't want to do, nothing against Dietz. They did a great job. We had lots of fun together, but I didn't want to do that type of deal again. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of were going to walk off and by the wayside and be done. And then we decided to call Donald, and it took 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we were ready to go. and it's fun. It's perfect. And you've known me a good while, and it's a perfect match. I don't want to race 80 races a year. My body can't handle it. You get worn down mentally. You don't get burned out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. There's nights it's just like a regular job. You show up and you really don't want to be there. Yeah, as bad as that sounds, you don't want to be there. And it's just now we show up. I'm energized. I'm ready to go race, and that's a big deal. And that, I think it shows.
Do you think you won races just for that reason? Maybe you weren't the quickest car, the best car, but you're the freshest, and you have an energy that maybe somebody who's been beat down for 5 months.
I think our big advantage is Davey Brown. My second big my second big advantage is Donald Kreitz. Everybody, trust me, everybody forgets about how good Donald was as a mechanic on his own race cars and how fast his race cars was, even when Davey wasn't working on him. So you combine them two. Yeah. Donald's very hard driven, works his butt off on these race cars. And to me, I can't let them guys down. So to me being mentally fresh is very important. And I try my darndest to be right when I show up. Not have no problems from work that lingers in my head. Right. And just be right when I show up. And it's so easy with them because if you go out and first night out, we were pretty slow in warm-ups for us. I mean, real slow actually. And there's nobody, okay, we'll just keep plugging away. They found what was wrong with the car and fixed it for the heat race. And then, they got a little better for the feature. And just, there's no panic because everybody's been around it so long. And we've seen it all. So there's no panic, and we know we're going to have our bad nights. So, we take the good ones and go on.
That being said, you won so many races. You've been around so long. I keep picking at your age because everybody picks on mine. But do you ever get nervous anymore or feel pressure coming into a season? Hey, I know you get kind of desensitized towards that, but does it still linger?
Not pressure. There's no pressure. And that's probably maybe one of the best things about this deal. There's no pressure. There's multiple reasons for that. One is, the other Friday when we dropped out, I don't have to worry about how am I going to support my wife and my son this week.
No points.
Well, no points.
Yeah.
But, when you're racing full time, especially in here, to do it as a living like me, Greg, and Fred do, that you have to win, and you have to run top 5 all the time to make a living. It's not glory like people think it is. And a good friend of mine, Mike Early, always said he don't know how we handle that. Not the racing and the pressure, worrying about where's your next paycheck coming from. So, we kind of got that out of our life right now. So I show up, we go race, and we try to win the race. If it don't win, we're not upset. We're upset if we're not fast. But if something don't go, you don't get the caution or a flat tire or whatever, we get ready for the next one. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so fresh when we show up now.
The Knoxville deal, real quick. That's been the big push for you guys to go to Knoxville, and now they have that Priority Aviation sponsorship. You're sitting at the top of the standings of that. If you get that, I'm sure you're going to go.
Our plan is right now to go to Knoxville. But with that said, there's a lot of things. What people don't realize is what's all involved with this team. That's what people don't realize. So there's a lot of things that have to be in place by that time, have to be in place for the race cars by that time, and everybody's health.
Well, Davey in the heat, I know he wasn't at Speed Week last year.
He left early one night because of the heat.
And it's hot at Knoxville.
Yes, we all know that. And I think we're working on it. Everything's getting worked on in place. We're working on some engine stuff coming up to make sure we're ready for it. But it's just like anything else. If we blow a motor to July Outlaw shows and we don't have a good one, we ain't going out. It's not worth us. I'm not going out to say I'm there. I want to go out, try the first objects to make the show. And then once we make the show, then I feel like we can race. And but I also know how hard that is. And it's a hard deal to just show up and be good. And Ryan knows that. I've known that. We've done it a long time. And Central PA cars, it's a different deal out there. And it's a very hard deal to unload, run your 2 laps of warm-ups, and be good.
It's a wonder, like Donnie shows up, and he's good every year there. It's amazing.
Yeah, but
he races a lot there.
Well, that's what I mean. It's amazing that he's able to do that.
So Knoxville to him is probably like Williams Grove.
Yeah.
I
mean, you have to remember, he raced there before he didn't race for the Outlaws.
Right.
He kind of grew up there. He didn't race weekly a lot, but he kind of grew up there, and it's just one of those places. And I remember back when we were on the good years, and they were in here, and he had to take provisionals every night. But he rolls to Knoxville. I mean, he was terrible all year that year on good years, but rolls to Knoxville. He looks like he never even missed a beat. Yeah. And when they left Knoxville, they weren't that good again. I mean, so I honestly think, from my last couple times we were out there, especially when we were in the good years, we raced really, really well. And we took the exact same setup both times, and it repeated. Now, we still couldn't qualify good yet, but it repeated race-wise. So I think it's one of those places is kind of once you find what works, you don't have to stray far from it because it's pretty consistent. I mean, my 30-some years racing, every time we've been in Knoxville, it's the same almost the whole time you're there. So it's, that's our plan, but we're, there's a lot of things up to that point, to get there. But, that's August. God, I could be fired by then.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're going to be fired. Right. I think I have a better chance of being fired, and I own the business. There's no way you're going to be fired.
I think you'll be all right.
Well, Lance, thank you for coming in studio. We appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully you get the Williams Grove show in. They've been rained out the last 2 weeks, so hopefully the weather's good. And if you do go to Virginia, good luck.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Enjoyed it. So
that's going to wrap up segment 2, SprintCarUnlimited.com. We'll be back in segment 3 with Cory Eliason. Stay tuned. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com for sprint car news from around the country. One click away every day. The website features breaking news, results, features, rankings, a weekly podcast, and much more from the world of sprint car racing. The off-season, the news doesn't stop there. We also cover breaking news with silly season and also have news from the Australian Summer Series. Yearly subscription is $50, 6 months is $35, 1 month is $8. If you purchase a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. We also have giveaways for our members, the Month of Money contest, and much more. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com today. Welcome back to segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast, presented by Wicked Energy Gum. We're joined in studio by Cory Eliason, who made the trip in from California to race a little in Central PA. Cory, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So what do you think? You're in PA. I mean, you've been here since last week. You got to race a little bit. What are your thoughts on obviously racing at Port Royal? I'm sure you wanted to race at Williams Grove, didn't get a chance. But what were your thoughts of Port Royal and Babs Motor Speedway?
It's good. I mean, I think the best part about out here so far has been the time rush from when we start to when we end. I mean, I think we were back, car wash, and we were able to go to dinner by 9 o'clock.
Don't get crazy with that.
Don't jinx it.
So at least that's a start.
Don't
We're
get crazy
learning
with
some
that.
things.
Yeah. You got to see the good side of it.
But I mean, all in all, it's been a good start for us. Gets us a good baseline. I don't have much experience here, if any at all. Tyler doesn't have much experience here. We do have Stephen Riley, who is from here, and he's got some experience, so he can kind of help us a little bit. But going to Port, I mean, that place just looks cool. It's fast. Even when it's slick, it's still fast. So we just had to learn a few things, and hopefully, this weekend we can fix those things, and we'll pick up hopefully in the top 5.
Well, you got a top 5 at Babs Motor Speedway. If you're comparing these tracks to California, what you're used to, I thought Babs is probably closer than Port is as far as what you see in California. And you finished 5th. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, Babs, the racing surface is great. I thought we were going to kind of build a curb because that's kind of what I'd heard from you and a few other people, that it would get a curb, and it's kind of familiar for me. So it started to build one up in hot laps, but it just kind of went away. But it was good. It was technical. I liked it because it was slick. It was dirty up top, so it wasn't – that's the problem. Some racetracks, you just get up top and you get going, and that's all there is to it. You just got to try to do something, pull a slider, and make something work, which doesn't always work. So I know the bottom was working because Macri drove right by me on the bottom when I was up at the top. So it was good. I mean, there's multiple lanes. It wasn't it wasn't hammered down on the fence, and there was it really shelves off up there, and I learned that pretty quickly. But it was nice because if it keeps ramping up the banking, then you just stay up there and you carry momentum. So I think 3 and 4 was probably the most difficult.
Mm-hmm. Usually is. The exit of 4 is usually where it kind of falls off. You feel good till you get to there, and then it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that was a big part of it, but that's it made it nice. It made it different. So you couldn't really, that the dirtiness on the top makes it difficult to see where you're at. So you can't just run in there clearly where you want to and go for it. And especially this track kind of resembles Paris. It's just a little bit smaller as to what I kind of told the guys. They think I'm crazy, but I look at tracks a little differently, I guess. So it kind of resembles at Paris off of 2, shelves off really bad, and you have to pay attention or square up with the wall so that way you can get going straight again. And that's kind of how it was here in 4. You just kind of square up with the fence and get going.
You've been on the road for over a year now. You kind of made the plunge, left California. I thought that was a great move. Obviously, you went out on the road with Roth Motorsports. What's it been like doing this for a living and traveling around the country? I thought you had a really good year last year, and obviously you're trying to carry that success to this year. But what's the whole experience been like?
It's great. I mean, since I think I told my parents when I was 5 and 6 going out to the sprint car races that I was going to be a race car driver when I got older, and that's what I want to do. And I think they kind of laughed it off and just thought, yeah, okay, every kid wants to be a race car driver. You take kids to the races, and they all want to be race car drivers because it looks cool. And I just stuck with it and pursued it. And there came a time where it was real close that I thought it's almost time that I got to do something. I can't keep doing this on my own and, shelving out the money to cover it. It's hard to get sponsors out there. We don't get to race as much in California. We're kind of on our own little island out there. So it makes it difficult to get noticed, especially. But we're very thankful that we have Dennis and Teresa Roth in California because they get to see the Californians firsthand instead of, trying to – I spent hours on the phone trying to get rides out here, and everyone's like, I'm not sure who you are, so I can't really give you a ride. And, that you just take that with a grain of salt and just kind of move on. But Dennis gave me an opportunity, and I got my first Outlaw win. We ended up picking up another one at the end of the year, and I think it got us noticed out here a little bit, or in the Midwest at least. It's not just your first one. They could say, "Oh, it was a fluke. Like he got lucky. It was rough. It was hooked up." So I took that one. It's like, yeah, that's just kind of a luck thing. But the second one in the same year, there was more luck involved on that one. But I mean, sometimes the cautions will save you.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I think it was 3 years ago at Knoxville, you were in the 5 car.
Yep.
And we did I think it was the Capitani race.
Yeah.
And you were like I'm like, okay, I've heard of this guy before, but I don't, like, I have the stigmatism. You're from California, so
Yep.
like he's going to be good in the little tracks, but these big
Yeah.
tracks, he ain't going to be. And I
Oh,
think
you could say you thought he was a chump.
Starting 8th in the pole shootout.
Yeah,
I was.
yeah.
Everyone thought, yep, you're just gonna
Yeah.
roll right through him, and
Yeah.
then we'll just move forward.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we ended up racing you.
Yep, you
And
ended up beating us.
luckily we beat you. But I mean, prior to that, you were rolling through guys. I'm like, dude, this guy's like that. That's where I took notice to you. You said about having someone taking notice to you to run Dennis's car, but I took notice to you then because I felt like, man, this kid's like he's good. Like you don't just show up at Knoxville and go fast.
Yeah,
And you did. And I'll be honest with you, I was impressed. I told Jeremy, in our speaking, to the side, I just said, hey, I said, this kid was really good at Knoxville, like for being there.
Told you the California guys. You don't.
He's high on
You don't listen.
yeah.
But
It was-
I get caught up in our racing, and
Yep.
he can see more of everything else.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, that's where I was like, man, he's good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, like with the Roth deal, when that kind of went south, did you know it was happening, and what did you think was going to be the future for Cory Eliason?
It really never had a time of really. It wasn't necessarily going south. It was it was getting tougher, and it was starting to try everybody. But it's just Dennis wants to win. Dennis, I mean, he deserves to win, and it was more of we come home after nationals. We didn't have the greatest nationals. The crew chief left. The other crew guy had left, got another job because they just said they weren't sure what we were doing. So we kind of had a meeting and kind of discussed things. And next thing we know is I was going out with Brent, and we were going to run California and then maybe do some King of the West shows or Trophy Cup. And if I had anything in between, to go out and run it, because they couldn't take me racing just because they didn't have the personnel.
Right.
So we ended up running, the California swing. I don't think we finished outside the top 4 for those 6 races. I think it was there or something. It turned out really well, and they brought us back out here. We come Terre Haute, Port Royal, Eldora, and World Finals. We had some speed at certain parts, but most of it wasn't that great. And we kind of went in, to the off season, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I had talked to Rudine a little bit. I've talked to a few other people, and it just, it was overwhelming just because I'd never been in that position. I was always afraid to leave California because it's comfortable. I had a ride there. Why am I going to step away from this and take a chance? I took the Roth job, and everyone says, oh, you won't make it out of California when you come back for the Outlaws. Well, that just gives me more fuel to go. And we ended up making it out, which is, there was never any question that, oh, hey, if you don't make it, if you don't run well, you're parked. It was never that. So it was just a tough decision. I kind of went through it, and I kind of removed myself from the situation and just thought about kind of what their goals were and what they were trying to do. And, not a lot of people know, nobody really, they just think, oh, he got fired because he sucked, which probably it could have been. But they offered me, like a 60 race schedule to go do. And I just kind of thought about it for a while, and I felt my best place was going to be here with Rudine, which it's working out great. I have fun with the guys. He lets us do pretty much whatever we want. But as far as the Roth deal, I just thought Dennis wants to win an Outlaw Championship. That's the only thing he hasn't won in his career. He's won every single race in between. And, with his age, with the health, everything, he needs to get it done in the next, 3 or 4 years. Not saying that I can't do it, but let's be realistic here.
Building process.
Yeah, I have to have another year on the road guaranteed, and have to be spectacular to be able to try, Donnie, Brad, Gravel, Stewart. But I just thought, why I have an opportunity that I feel is better for me, and it would give, gives Pittman an opportunity in that car, and hopefully he can get it done. Because as much as Dennis kind of gets a bad name because people don't really know him, but he's the nicest guy you'll meet. He'll do anything he can for racing or the racing community. So as much as he's done for the sport, I think he needs to win an Outlaw Championship.
That's great.
That being said, you're running the All-Stars this year. So now you're running for points. You're running for points anyway. So it's been obviously 2 months since the last All-Star race. You kind of bumped around. You ran with the Outlaws. Now you're going to be running for points. And obviously it starts this Thursday at Virginia Motor Speedway. Williams Grove, Port Royal, then Bedford. Are you anxious to get after it with the All-Stars? I mean, it's not like I know people view the All-Stars a certain way, but look, there's some guys there. I mean, you have Aaron Reitzel, who already has an outlaw win this year, had one last year, so you've seen him before, obviously in California. Are you a little geeked up kind of to get rolling here?
I mean, it's just another race for me. I mean, I'm just fortunate enough I get to race, as many times as I do. So it's cool. I think, talking with Tony, I talked to him a little bit last year before I had even had a ride or had a direction where to go, and he kind of thought it'd be great to get me out there on the series. And when I got the routine job, there wasn't really a direction of which series we'd run. We were just going to run whenever we wanted, just kind of, if we don't want to go race here, let's go race there type thing, which was cool. And then we got talking with Tony and, the All-Stars, and it worked out that we're going to run that. And I think it'll be better for us because there's more discipline running points instead of just, oh, hey, I don't want to race tonight over here. We'll just go, we'll go to Ohio instead of PA or something. So I think there's going to be more discipline for us. We're a young team. I think I'm the oldest at 27. So,
ouch.
Yeah,
Wow.
Steven is 26 and Tyler is 24. So for, the age group, for Kevin to say, hey, I'm going to let you guys go out and run a full points deal with our age group, and here you go. We're going to turn a $500,000 operation over to you, and here's a credit card. Call me and let me know how it goes, and hope you have fun.
That's odd for you, though, because you came up – California's very – it's like almost like a West Side Story. I mean, you have the guys, the haves, and then the other side of the tracks are the have-nots. It's such a divide in California, and you were on the have-not side. You've had to earn everything you've gotten, buying your own stuff, using used tires, and you fared pretty well. Do you think that gives you an advantage being on the road and managing $500,000 or whatever operation?
Yes and no. I mean, I definitely get on Tyler a little bit about what we spend, they make fun of me because I'm tight. So I'll go to dinner and I won't get something because it's $9 this way, but I'll get this and it's $7, and they make fun of me.
$2,
Yeah,
Corey?
but it all adds up at the end. So
They're on the fixed income, right?
yeah, exactly.
We got to ask
We're
him
on
about the
percent.
$4.50 meatballs that Joey Bats gets me in.
Yeah, so I mean, we just come from there. So, when nights where we can stretch a tire, like, hey, we'll just run that one. It's fine. Or I'll come out and be like, oh, we don't need the tire. We're fine. We're not going to get beat by that right now. There's times where we have confidence. There's times where we can save and salvage. And Tyler's, this is going to be his first year in this position of running a full team. And so it's good because he sees other sides. He's been on the road for 5 or 6 years with other people, and he's seen different ways that they've done it. I've only been on the road with Ross, so I've only seen one way, and it kind of, I guess you get spoiled because with Dennis, what you need is what you're going to get. Yeah. And if you think you need something else to win, you're going to get it. Mm-hmm. There's not going to be any doubt about it. So I think it's really good to have, someone like Tyler who's been out there, and then someone like me who's really getting upset over $2.
$2.
Yeah, but it's got to make Kevin Rudeen feel pretty good knowing that, hey, these guys aren't just going to go out and just throw 6 tires at it every night.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very appreciative for what he's done and what he's doing for us, and I think he knows also, because they make sure to make it known to everybody that I don't like to spend money.
Nothing wrong with that, bud.
Well, do you think this full-time deal with a series appeals to you? Because this is, again, something you haven't done. Yeah, you've run for points in California probably a time or two, but this is different. This is going to be a 50-plus race schedule. It's going to start now. It's going to go through September. Do you like that type of deal?
I do, because it's more appealing that there's an end goal. Last year it was just kind of we race every weekend and really not sure why or where we're going, but we're going. So this year there's an end goal, there's a result, and there's something to shoot for. So, every driver has their goals. You want to win 10 races this year or whatever it is. But now we have an end goal that is on paper that can show, and it gives it to the, car owner Kevin, he's gonna, if we can pull it off or run well, it shows that we have discipline and that we're mature enough to carry on, and who knows where it can lead.
Cory, can you stick around a little bit? We're going to talk purses. We're also going to talk about one of your guys out in California getting on Twitter and kind of ripping some things. We might even keep you in and have you make some picks. I'm going to kick Ryan's ass this week. I have to.
He's been saying that for a little while now.
Hey, come on.
Well, I mean, I'm not the luckiest person, but I'm sure I'm that type guy that goes to the casino.
There's no money on it. You don't have to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But I'm the guy that goes to the casino, and then when I see my buddies or crew guys, they start winning, I start taking money from them, so that way we walk out with something. Because I know if I was to ever bet any money, and I got up once, I would just even if it was $1, I'm walking out.
You got to be kidding me. We need to get you out while you're in PA, but we got to do it so he doesn't take picks and advice from you, because I think that's what's going to happen here. That's going to wrap up segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. We'll be back in segment 4. We're going to keep Cory in, and we're going to talk about purses. Stay tuned. Welcome back to segment 4, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast, sponsored by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Cory Eliason going to sit in studio with us a little longer. We're going to talk purses because this week is the Asparagus Cup, and one of your boys, Dominic Scelzi, jumped on Twitter. He's dropping F-bombs. He hates the purse. Let's give a little bit of background. $10,000 to win Friday, $15,000 to win Saturday, and then I think Friday it drops down to $2,500 for second. Saturday, I think it's $3,000 for second. Mm-hmm. It's $800 to start. I think from like
10th to 24th is $800.
Is right. Now, Ryan, you and I have talked about purses a lot. What are your thoughts, Ryan, on this purse? Obviously, it's not ideal.
I'm not a huge fan of top heavy only purses, so this one doesn't really work for me. Plain and simple.
But you didn't drop an F-bomb like
no.
Which, by the way,
I was thinking something else when I said top heavy.
Wow. I'm shocked that. Are you shocked that Dom dropped an F-bomb? Not that he dropped one, but that he did it on Twitter.
No, because he's my best friend, and he is never shy to say what he feels. So,
but on Twitter, he's like a guy who catches butterflies and goes to Applebee's. That's what when I think of Dominic Scelzi, that's what he does.
Well, he might do that too, but it's not. It's still like if he's very, very passionate about racing and about the sport, and it's not. Yeah, he might have.
He overdid it.
Publicly,
he overdid.
He gets crucified for it, but the problem is that this is. The biggest problem in racing is all the fans and all these people want the raw emotion of every driver and wants to know what they really do and how they really act. But the second they act like a normal human being or get upset or show emotion, they get criticized for it. So I think that goes both ways in racing, and it's just hard to at some point you have to just say, well, this is what I think is right and this is what I'm going to do. And so, yeah, to some people that's not right, but other people are applauding him for it because how many other people are thinking they're upset with that, but nobody's going to say it?
I still think he went overboard, and I like when he said it because it's good for me to talk about. So I'm a hypocrite. I admit it. But, I've talked to Dom, and here's the – first off, on the subject of purses, look, I'd love for it to pay – I don't know, Ryan, what are you thinking? 8,000, chop 2,000, distribute that Friday, drop it to 10 on.
Yeah, it's a 360 race too.
Yeah,
you guys don't
it's SCCT.
You guys probably don't have a 410 race out there that pays this kind of money to win.
It's even to start, it's still more money than you're ever going to get. But as a driver, so as you want to just look at I see how much it is to win. I'm going there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to run anything other than first. But then when you run your own team, as I did for years, yeah, that's great to win, but hey, I got to think smart. So, hey, all of a sudden I'm not set up right, or I'm just not that great, but I'm going to run sixth. Well, $1,200, it's still better than anything else. Yes, but it's like, well, why couldn't you, when Friday's $10,000 to win, I think.
Yeah.
Why just drop that off, cut $5 off of that, leave Friday's purse the same because Friday's a prelim night.
Yep.
Take $5,000 and spread it through the next night. But then again, it's easy for all of us to sit here and quarterback the thing after the guy's already put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I agree. Like, Ryan, I'm going to put you on the spot because you don't like the Sprint Showdown purse at BAPS at the end of the year because it's $10,000 to win and $3,000 for second.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
my reality is look, there only one guy wins.
Mm-hmm.
Only one guy can win the race. Okay.
Probably Lance, who we had on the show earlier.
More than likely, especially, yeah. But my thing is you're going to make one guy really happy and really rich, and then everybody else that showed up. I just feel like a more spread out purse is what we need to keep car owners and people will still come. I mean, I understand that the big number gets everybody's attention, like the 30s and the 20s and the 50s, but reality is we don't have cars.
Yeah.
We need cars.
Well, now I'm gonna say this though. In the case of BAPS Motor Speedway, a sponsor came to them with $5,000. It was $5,000, $3,000, and then down through,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
They did have a sponsor come to them and say, I want it all up top. In that case, the track can do nothing about it. You have to do that because you're not going to turn down to $5,000. So in that case, I'm okay with it. I agree with you. And I don't know what the Asparagus Cup, I think the name's cool. I've said that over and over again. But I don't know what their sponsorship deal is. I don't know if they have sponsorship for that race or what the case is. But I can tell you in the case of some races, you don't have a choice. You set the purse, the sponsor comes in and says, I want it there. What are you going to say? No, yeah. I'm not taking
it's
it.
Hard. It's hard to not do that. I mean, I think obviously you try
and that's what happened
to barter with them a little bit.
Yeah,
say,
but
hey.
That's what happened in that case.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that stood out. Dominic Scelzi will not be at the Asparagus Cup. In sprint car racing, I've found drivers very rarely back up their words. Yep. No offense, Corey, but they'll go anyway. They'll complain and go anyway. Yeah. Dom isn't going. I was stunned by that. Were you surprised by that?
I mean, like I said, when he gets passionate about something, that's what he does. He sticks to it, and he's not the type where he really just talks about it and like, oh, here we go, we're gonna go race it again. I mean, there's things he gets upset about, but if he has to, when he really gets upset, he'll follow through. Which, I mean, he's taking a stand for what he thinks is right. Which, yet again, people will criticize him, but you have to. You have to go with it that he's actually standing up. Don't just go on Twitter and retweet someone and do something.
Right.
Like try to. So there's one person that said thanks for paying it, and then you have 10 other people that want to jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
If you want to be proactive or something or be man enough, then just get on there and make your own post about it. Don't retweet and comment on someone else's. That's the biggest part about social media, and that's the biggest problem that we have now is everybody jumps on board with somebody else to try to get in the spotlight, so Dom gets criticized. But I remember the same time when Peter Murphy, 2 years ago, that I think Kyle was supposed to win and there was a yellow or something. They threw the caution when he was coming out to take the checkered, and he ended up getting a flat right rear or something.
Who was that?
Kyle
Hurst. I remember that.
Flat right rear. Well, guess what?
He went nuts.
He went nuts. But guess what? He just got taken $10,000 away from him, and that's the raw emotion that all the fans want to see, and that's what everyone comes to see. But yet, the second they see it, they bash him.
Oh, I'm not bashing Dom. I wish he wouldn't have dropped the F-bomb. That's the only thing. And look, you've both sat with me, so you know that I'm no prude. I pretty much will say anything. I just, I'm a little on Twitter, everybody who's reading it, so on and so. Now, If he wants to criticize it, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, no problem. And I told Dom this. And Dom admitted he probably didn't handle it the way he should.
No.
However, I did hear that passion.
He probably shouldn't.
And
Shouldn't have
Gio
done
might
that.
not be there either.
Yeah, Dom probably shouldn't have dropped the F-bomb. But then again, how many times has Tony said, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that"?
It's a good point. You know what? I shouldn't have told this story about Dom because then maybe Roach would have picked him.
Yeah.
I've been known.
And then I would have got a text Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have another pick?
No, wait. Joe did that. I didn't ask for it.
Right. That's what we all
even
say.
said- I
the
said-
text didn't come from Joe. It's because Joe doesn't have a cell phone.
Joe can't text. Yeah. I think one of the big things here is maybe we're not like, yes, we're criticizing the purse. It's great to have big paying shows.
Yeah, look, I think
We
you
need
get a
it,
lot
and
of
I'm sure
notoriety.
California needs it, and 800 to start. That's
Like
good.
I said,
That's really good.
So that race is still paying more than any race
Right.
you're going to go to. It doesn't matter if it's a King of the West show paying $5,000 to win. They still don't pay down.
Yeah.
You still don't get 800. Granted, 10th to 24th for 800 is kind of steep, but you're still. I still think at 10th is 800. You're still getting more than you would at any other show.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony said he took a big gamble, and he's putting up a lot of money for people to go race. And I hope it's big, and I hope he gets a lot of fans to help cover. Because putting up purses is a lot, and it takes a lot of fans to get in there to cover that purse. And the problem is there's a lot of people that won't understand that side until they actually, are friends with promoters or get into promoting and see it.
I've done purses. They're hard to distribute because you're okay.
It's hard to distribute, but not only that, it's hard to cover.
Well,
Try to cover it with the
yeah.
front gate and the back gate and concessions. You have to try to cover it. And the problem is the second promoters stop making money at doing this is the second we start losing tracks. So,
By the way, it's going to be 0 to win then.
yeah, and
We won't be
we're
talking
not going
about
to
it.
be doing anything, and I'm not going to be sitting here. I can guarantee that.
But one of the issues I do not like 10th or whatever it is to 24th paying the same because it promotes pulling off.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you don't want look, race car drivers will race for $10.
That's the thing. I saw a lot of the comments about, oh, yeah, well, now there's going to get people who are going to pull off when you race 10th. Guess what? But if I'm running 18th and I think I can get to 15th, I'm still going for it.
Really?
It doesn't matter.
But
to
I
me.
know guys that aren't like that.
But you're all a racer. If you're a true racer at heart, you're not going to give up. You're going to tell me Donnie's going to pull off at 24th.
Okay, but he's racing for World of Outlaw
Yeah,
points.
well, not
But
even.
now
it's not even points.
SCCT had points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you're right.
It's not even about points. I mean, anybody you put you can name drivers that you put in that situation, and they're not going to just pull off. Yeah, you might get some guys who just pull off, but they're never going to win the race anyway. So,
Non-regulars.
Yeah.
who worries about what they actually do? If you're there to race, like I said, I'm in 24th. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to risk the car to destroy the race car to run 21st, but I'm definitely going to be on attack to try to get to 21st. I'm not just going to ride around and then pull off.
There's another side to this, and we hit on it with Lance a little bit, mostly off air. I don't think purse has anything to do with car count, and here's why. And I see you shaking.
It doesn't. We thought it did, and everybody's tried to throw money at it throw money.
Like last year's Dirt Classic, paid $1,500 to win, $25,000 up top. It was a great purse. It was our lowest car count in the history of the race.
It's just it's weird how this works, but like.
So what is it, Corey? I mean, you're a driver. What?
I have no idea. I mean,
I love the. I don't know.
So sometimes I feel like when the big purse comes out, the smaller guy feels like, oh man, there's going to be 15 cars that show up that I
are solid.
I probably can't beat. Like,
Yep.
Or you know what I mean? That's why I say get rid of the top heavy purse, the super top heavy purse, and distribute it out. Then that guy's going to show up.
But
then
here's
you're going to have 30, 40 cars.
Here's the other problem. Some people put up money for B mains. Like the Knoxville National does well because you can make $8,000 and not
for
the
running
only race
fifth.
you can probably go and make money out of
fifth in the B
If
main.
you're in the B main, you're making more money than you would win a normal 410 show, even if you finish 20th.
But guys have put up money for B mains around here, and it doesn't draw cars. Don't understand it. I don't understand it. Yellow Breeches races at Williams Grove Speedway. It's $500 to start, and the car counts aren't big. So I don't understand that. I'm trying to figure out what makes guys go to certain races, and I can't figure it out. I don't know if it's different variables. Well, we're going to consider purse, driving distance, and all these different things, and whatever works out.
Scott, for us, so if we weren't running the All-Star Series this year, we're driving to big paying shows. That's where we're going to go, because we're
top
just gonna
three or top or first place.
Doesn't matter if it shows big paying, we're going, just because it's like a double-edged sword. So like I want to look at first place, but now I'm doing this for a living, so now I got to make sure that it's not just doesn't pay first and that's it, because I go there with the confidence that I'm going to win, but at the same time I could run something over, get a flat tire, I could get caught up in someone else's accident, I could crash, I could suck. There's multiple things, so you kind of have to look at it all, but it's you can't control who goes where. It's hard nowadays to even guess who's going where. Like you said, there's shows that you see where, like, we have a race. What is it's this mini Gold Cup or something? Or no, it used to be a Civil War show. It's Silver Cup or something. I don't know. It's $2,500 to win. We'll get 50 cars. 50 cars showing up for $2,500 to win, $200 to start. The week before is like the Johnny Key or something, which is $360, and you'll get 22 to 24 cars, and it's $4,000 to win, $400 to start.
That makes no sense.
You know what I'm saying? Or it just doesn't. Nothing adds up. So you can't. It's just you have the people who are close to that track. It's the locals are what make the track. So if they decide, oh, well, I'm just not going this week, you only have so many travelers everywhere you go. Every state only has so many traveling guys. And you can't just hope that you're going to get 10 more travelers because you put up more money. They're not going to travel either way.
No, and although I will say this, why raise purses? And I know that's hard for you guys to hear because you guys have been in the pit area.
You have to, purses is what
you got to support those races.
From a business standpoint, why?
Why? Yeah, no, I agree. But like Virginia Motor Speedway, for our guys around here, that purse is pretty stout. It's $1,000 to start.
Yeah, it's heavy.
If you have a Pennsylvania team that remotely goes, if we have a Pennsylvania team that goes to New York for a race and doesn't go to Virginia,
they're not very bright.
Absolutely. I look at it and go,
4 hour,
what are you thinking?
It's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Nobody's been there. Yeah. Everybody who's run there is not.
You're even.
Yeah, everybody's on the same
What's the
shelf.
last time they had an outlaw show? 2010.
Yeah, Lance
Myers
is looking at. Lance is looking at going down.
Yeah,
you'd be dumb not.
But
I don't know if I can say that, but
no, you could say. You can say whatever you want.
I've been telling people that.
Tyler Swank's been on the show. You can say whatever you want at that point.
For a Pennsylvania team to go 2 more hours to go to Virginia on a Thursday, as opposed to like Bedford, like you'll have teams that go to Bedford. And I'm not trying to split cars up and not go here or there, but Virginia's 4 hours and the purse is way better.
Mm-hmm.
Bedford's 2 hours and it's not as good a purse. So at what point does that 2 hours,
It's hard. It's hard, really. It is to try to justify or make sense of who goes where and why they go. Like we do it in California, and the sad part is we don't have enough big races in California. We don't even have enough 410 racing in California to, supplement what you're trying to do out there.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll all go to the racetrack and we'll go. Like you'll have the traveling guys go to the 5,000 to win, 500 start show, and then we'll go to the $2,500 to win, $200 to start, and we're like, why are we here? There's 50 cars. We're going to be here all night. The tracks probably can't take it like that.
And they're 4 hours apart. The tracks are 4.
And it's like, why are we here? But yet, why are we there? Because we want to race.
Can you hang around one more segment?
Yep.
We're going to see Ryan and I go at it a little bit. Yep. So that's going to wrap up segment 4 SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. We'll be back in segment 5. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the 5th and final segment, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Cory Eliason still in studio with us. You might have to go to dinner with us afterwards.
Yeah, do something. Yeah, it's
Jeremy buys $5 meatballs, so you're in good shape.
Joey Bats, I got to say this because we're going in. This
you know Joey, of course.
So before we make our picks and do everything we do in segment 5, and so Sunday, I'm up at the track, up at Babs Motor Speedway. I get a phone call from California. Okay, I didn't know who. I didn't even look at the area code or anything. So I answer, and they just started talking. They didn't say hello. They didn't say who they were. Joey Batts was on the other end of the phone talking about Tony Gualda and saying how I need to pick him. Now, here's the thing. Have I fallen that far picking?
That Joey has to help?
That Joey calls me out of the blue and has to. I was.
Apparently, he was feeling bad for you. You had a pretty tough week.
I walked right into the pit area and I told Cory because he could have.
Yeah, he could appreciate it more than anybody else. That's for sure.
Joe is
Joey's
a bandwagon. He goes with the guy who he thinks is the hottest right now. Right now it's Tony Gualda, but guess what? If Tony Gualda don't show up this weekend, he's going to be on to whoever wins this weekend.
And he probably helped him.
He did. He definitely had some influence.
The crew chief.
Yes, he did. Absolutely.
So Ryan, you had a good week. I
had a decent week.
You did. I think you had 3 guys right.
Yeah.
And Dead Nutted, you're up 7-5 in flat out winners. Mm-hmm. You're 10 spots ahead of me. I picked up 1 last week.
From 56 down.
He was down 56.
I was down 56
I'm streaky.
spots.
I'm
After
the Lucas Wolf.
Florida. I was not happy.
I'm the Lucas Wolf of picking. I can't do it. And then I'm just going to run off like 3 weekends where you can't touch me.
He's been saying this for 3 weekends.
This is my bad stretch. This is my bad stretch. So we're good. And then I think top 5s were tied, and you're like 1 ahead in top 10s. I don't have my computer in front of me, maybe because I don't really want to relive it.
Yeah,
but
I'll help you.
So you and I are going to do our picks, but Cory's going to pick against us. Now he can take the same guy, so we're going to jump right in. All-Star Circuit of Champions. It's a big weekend. 4 races. Virginia Motor Speedway Thursday, $10,000 to win. We talked about the purse earlier. We have Williams Grove, Port Royal, and then Bedford. Some of the storylines, obviously, Cory's one of them. This is his first year running with the All-Stars. You're going to see a lot of tracks you didn't see last year.
Cool. Actually, Ohio's going to open your eyes.
Yeah, you think you've seen Slick? You haven't seen Slick.
And Dusty?
Yeah, well, I mean, we got somewhat of a base. We weren't terrible at Port Royal. We weren't.
No. Port Royal's not slick.
Yeah, compared to Ohio.
But coming here, this is still slicker than California.
Yeah.
Like Hanford was our slickest racetrack I think we've had, since we started. And
It wasn't Stockton?
Yeah. Yeah, so Hanford was really, really slick. I mean, the curve was on the back side of the lip. It was hard to run. It wasn't easy. The bottom was definitely faster because it was so far around on the top. You could run the bottom and be better. And so I felt pretty good in the slick. I mean, we kind of had an incident with not dropping any names, but Dominic. So we got turned around pretty quickly. So we went back to 24th and after lap 5 and got back up to 12th where we started. But after running Port it's still slick. I mean, I know there was some moisture there, but it was still loose moisture. It wasn't grip like what you think. And same with BAPS. It wasn't. It was very dirty. It was not even though it looked like there was some moisture out there, it was all like marbly and dirty. So it wasn't like you could just run in there and blaze it and you're good. You still had to tiptoe around and be careful. So I think, I feel a lot more comfortable coming here this weekend, learning. We know a few things that we need to do or what we think we need to do. So it's either going to work or it's not.
Some other storylines. Grove, the All-Stars are donut for 35. 0 for 35 since the 70s.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And they've had some really good, good drivers.
Yeah, some really good drivers. I mean, Lance Dewease ran the All-Stars for a year.
Yeah.
And he couldn't win.
He couldn't win the year he was with the All-Stars at Williams Grove. So, yeah.
Some other things. I mean, drivers to watch. Aaron Reitzel coming back to defend his title. Last week he ran a 360 show in Nebraska. Or he ran at I-81 Speedway.
Kansas.
Yeah, it's Kansas. I-81.
Air Capital.
Well, then he went to Nebraska. I don't know if he went to Nebraska the second night. No. Terry McCarl won in Nebraska, I believe.
Yep.
The 3
He won the Air
sixes.
Capital race the Friday night, the prelim night.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Aaron was chasing rain also because they were thinking about coming out here doing this weekend with us, and then they saw the weekend look bad. So they thought, Kansas is easier because it's closer to Iowa,
Right.
easier to get
And
to.
then he got rained on it.
Then he got rained on there, yeah. Well,
But Aaron Reitzel, very good at Port Royal, won last year there. He's going to be a guy to definitely watch this weekend. The Grove, remember, Ryan, he got out of there with a top 5 on the first race of the Jack Gunn.
Yeah.
So I think Aaron has an advantage over everybody else except for maybe Dale Blaney at Port Royal. Dale Blaney's pretty good there, but I'm anxious to see how that team starts out. Sam McGee and Dale Blaney, I think starting out, how they get kind of acclimated to each other is critical. It's got to happen early. They have a top 5 at Williams Grove this year, finished second at Port Royal, so they're going to be ones to
actually
watch.
4 races they look pretty good. They
looked
like they gelled
okay.
quick.
He felt better after Port Royal.
Yeah.
That's where he could race.
Yeah, he looked like Dale, like he could scoot around the bottom and
Right.
and get going. He looked like Dale.
Now, Dewease, that's the guy to beat. Even if they go to Virginia Motor Speedway,
That could be out of their realm, though. That could be some of the stuff I've seen about that place. It gets heavy and it's really fast. Now Lance just said, like, obviously Lance has opened the doors for a lot of different things for that car because Donnie was pretty much bottom and it had to be in a certain speed where you could pretty much cancel that car out. But now, if you need to go 16-1 at the Grove, it's going to go 16-1 at the Grove. So,
and Danny Dietrich,
yep.
can he keep up the momentum? Anthony Macri, I can't state enough. I think he's the early season story in PA, and he doesn't have a win. You know, Freddie Raymer looks like and I shouldn't tell you this because we're picking, but Freddie Raymer, in his words, most likely is going to Port Royal Saturday.
Yep.
So you're going to have some pretty good fields. I think you have a lot of storylines, which leads us into the magical time. We're going to pick all 4 All-Star races. I figure if I stack races up more, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
So
It's a good idea.
Virginia Motors, you're actually being a good winner.
I told you I'm a good winner.
Yeah, but I'm not buying it. So Virginia Motor
Oh, you'll be buying.
No, here we go. So Virginia Motor Speedway Thursday night. I guess I pick first.
Yep. You're losing.
I have no idea who to pick at Virginia Motor Speedway. So I'm going to go with the All-Star champion, defending All-Star champion, and take Aaron Reitzel. Who do you got?
Tim Schaefer.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I told him, I said, I want this list. List. Like, usually I get it at like midnight and I'm asleep by 10.
Okay, that's not my problem.
No.
Cory, who do you got at Virginia Motor? Do you go off of what off the grid here, or do you go chalk?
I mean, I feel like I just have to kind of take myself out of the situation because that would.
You can pick yourself.
I mean, I just feel like that would be complete.
Actually, I think
No, you can pick yourself if you think.
I think it's one of the places.
Virginia, yeah, that's definitely
'cause
somewhere.
no one's been there.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
we always go
everybody's-
good when we go. Like, I've never been to Paris. We went there the first time. We raced really well. So, I've never been to
think you
East Bay,
finished
and we
fifth.
raced really well. Yeah.
Go ahead, pick yourself.
So, I'll take myself at Virginia.
Look
Good
at
pick.
you. Look at you. All right, fair enough. Williams Grove. The percent chance of rain has dropped. It keeps dropping. It's down to 60% chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. So I'm liking maybe what I see. So, Ryan, you pick first.
I'm going to go with Lance.
I hate you.
I'm going to probably hate you with the next pick. So
No.
Oh, I think Lincoln's next on the list.
No. Nice try. I'll give you Lance there.
Okay. He's got to take Dietrich.
No, I'm not going to take. I'm going to take Freddie.
That's a good pick.
Again, I've been taking him a lot,
You have.
but he passed his cars. He's passed cars at Williams Grove, and I think they're going to look good. I think they're putting a new car together. I like it. How about you, Cory?
Freddie.
See, look at he knows.
Nice.
Okay, Port Royal. I pick first. I'm taking Lance.
No.
There's no.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Who you taking?
I'm going to take Reitzel.
That's a good pick there.
He's like, if there's a track around here that he's really fast at, like,
And he should have beat Lance last year at the All-Star
Yeah.
race and didn't because of the late red flag.
I was really concerned with his start this season because, like, in California, he was okay. And then the last race or two, I was like, okay, they're starting to find their groove, kind of where they left off last year. I felt like they were on the verge of like outlaw quality.
Right. Well, he's 5th in points before he left last weekend, so not bad. Who do you got, Corey? It's poor Roy. You might as well just say Lance.
I would say Lucas.
All right.
That's a good pick.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Look at that.
That's streaky. I mean, just don't.
Yeah,
know.
but at last, what I watched on the video from Saturday, he was really good. It's just the way things fell just didn't fall in his lap the way that it did Heimbach. So
he was really good last year for a lot of the big races. He was really good.
I just think it'll be better because it's not that kind of handicap thing.
Right.
So I think, all it takes is you run the dash and you get a start in the first 2 rows. Well, I think there might be something, unless I'm there.
Bedford. I would take Chad Kemenall.
Yeah,
but obviously
this is kind of crapshoot.
And you have first pick.
First pick.
And this is one where who's going to be there?
Yeah,
It's the tail end of this deal.
Well, I know Dietrich almost beat us there one year, and Greg was always really good there. But man, Timmy's had like a week to sit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Tim.
That's who I wanted. I was hoping you'd go.
That's who I'm taking.
Okay.
There you go.
So I'm left with. I'm going to take Dietrich.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good pick.
Yeah. If
honestly, he was good there that year. If it would have been like maybe a lap or 2 laps longer, we were gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, again, World of Outlaws, 2-day weekend at Devil's Bowl. It's their national status. I think it's $20,000 to win the finale.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Outlaws seem like it changes week to week. The storylines this week, I don't think it changes. Can Gravel keep the momentum rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Can Brad Sweet keep the momentum rolling? Can Donnie Schatz? He struggled a little bit lately.
Pass some cars.
That's unfortunate. Donnie struggles finishing 8th. Wow. I would love to struggle and just finish 8th.
He started on the knob and finished 4th last week. That's struggling for him.
Yeah. It's just so
But
many
here's the
things
scary
that change
thing.
in that little scenario, though.
I know what's going to happen. It's just going to go like that.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. You don't want him winning. If he's winning now, he's going to blow right through 30.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he's already
I
starting
agree
to win
with
now, he's going right above 30.
If he ever has like a good California,
Yeah,
to start the year.
I'm pulling off. I'm done.
you. I'm done.
No, wait, you said you'd never pull off.
I'm a millennial. I concede defeat.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I picked first on opening night of Devil's Bowl.
Yes. That's unfortunate.
No, because there's a lot of ways you can go here.
Yeah, I know. But I know what way I'm going the second night.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I want him the second night. So I have to take Donnie the first night. You forced me to take Donnie Schatz the first night because I want him the second night and can't have him because of the way we do it. Because whoever picks second. I'm taking Schatz the first night because you're forcing me to.
Okay. I'm torn between 3 cars.
Well, you can't have all 3.
I can't just take all 3 and
No.
take the best
No. The weather doesn't look good.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm torn between Pittman, Gravel, and Sweet. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But man, it's so hard.
I know who I would take out of those 3.
Pittman won a race there last year. I think he won the first night there last year. Rubbered up, and he was really good. And Pittman's been good on bigger stuff this year.
Yeah, I think it rubbered up the second night.
I think Brad's in a groove right now.
I think I have a Darren Pittman shirt for you. So, I mean, you're like his biggest fan this year.
I'm going to take Brad.
Darren. Who do you got, Corey?
Pittman.
Yeah, that's where you're
DP
going.
on night 1.
All right.
You can probably fit in my shirt.
You can probably swim in that shirt. No offense. I'm not far behind. Who do you got night 2?
Donnie.
You suck.
Ooh.
You just suck. I wanted him the second night.
I know you did.
Big money on the line. That guy's just...
Oh, that's why I was not sad that I had him pick first.
So now I'm in the same position. I could date one of the 3 guys that you have, which is the direction I'm going to go.
Can't forget about the 5 car, though.
Yeah, but
From Oklahoma. He goes down there and races.
I think
Yeah,
there's.
They
being
ran
at home-
ASCS a lot.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Yeah, no,
and
I.
being at home, I think it brings out
close.
the best in guys too.
It's close.
It is, but I'm not going to let you talk me into that.
You're going with Craig Kinzer,
No.
Dominic's not going to be there.
Dominic.
No, Dominic.
Oh,
Oh,
no, Craig.
They do
Oh.
look. It is.
Yeah.
It
Sorry,
is something.
Sorry, I was just
No. They look a lot alike.
wrong thing.
I'm going to take David Gravel. They have a good notebook there,
Mm-hmm.
the 41. So I'm going to go with Gravel. And then last night, you're going to go with
I'm taking gravel because I just figure the first night Phil's just going to have to tweak on it a little bit.
and then they get
And
it.
I watched Johnson, how good he was around there last year. So I was trying to persuade you to pick someone else so I could be the lone winner on Saturday. But
No,
work.
not happening.
I
No.
actually, if I had to take like I wouldn't call it a long shot, but like Logan's finishes there last year were really good.
Yep.
But he was going better at the time. They're not going very good.
Shark Racing's struggling a little
Right now.
bit.
Yeah, I don't
So-
understand.
I see what you're saying. Here's where I make up my ground.
You may absolutely. This is like me picking USAC.
And that I'm waiting for the USAC season to start because that's where I'm.
All
I'm
that
get-
help you just gave Jeremy, send it my way. we're talking California here, okay?
Oh,
okay.
Asparagus Cup.
Asparagus Cup.
Who's getting that 10,000?
Best name for a race that in sprint car racing. Last year's winner was James McFadden. Dominic Scelzi not going.
Is Gio going?
I haven't heard.
I just told you the car's ready, but still don't think Gio's going. Supporting his brother. Way to go, buddy. Andy Forsberg won the SCCT
He's
opener.
a tight ass. He'll go.
Okay. SCCT opener went to Andy Forsberg. I think all the other heavy hitters are going to be there. Placerville's off. That's one thing I like. So, big race, 10,000 to win Friday, 15,000 Saturday. Some of the other tracks have taken off. So I believe I pick first, right?
You absolutely do.
I will take Rico to win night one. Ball's in your court. You got everybody. You got the field now.
I got the field. Little help here?
No. Don't look at him. I don't even want him crossing his eyes at you. He doesn't know.
Hey, it's
He's
good.
out of
There's
California now.
one guy that has had a number. One of the numbers on his wing was
Okay.
yours.
Stop.
Was what?
Was one of yours.
27.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh.
I'm just saying one of the digits.
Okay. I know who he means.
Tony Galda.
No. Are you going to go Joey Bats?
No.
Joey's helping you now? Who do you got?
The two.
Come on. Who do you got at
Who
Stockton?
runs the two?
No, not. Nuh-uh.
He can't do it.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Rico's name because I didn't even realize he was going. So I think you
Well, I think he's going.
yeah. And Stockton was rough last time, wasn't it? It was.
I think they're
extremely
working
rough.
on it. They showed a picture
Oh.
that I'm working on it already. You were not going to see that.
Oh my
again.
goodness.
Carson Macedo won't be there.
No.
Logan won't be there.
No. Will Shots be there?
No. Come on.
Uh,
See, I see. You can make him sweat.
Yeah,
If he beats me
I'm
in California, I'm almost going to quit.
and this is a 360 race.
It's 360 race.
You know what? I took Jacinto last weekend, and he burned me, but I'm taking him this weekend.
All right. Fair enough. That's not who.
Out of 7.
Is that who? You, okay.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's not who I thought he was going to
realized
say.
last week was a 410 race, and
Yeah,
he
he's
hasn't-
really good at 360
yeah,
stuff, and
last
especially
year
at
he was
Stockton.
awesome.
He is
Yes.
really good there.
Yes.
Corey, who do you got night one?
Is the 17 car going to be there?
I assume Shane Golobic will be there.
I think he's going to be
I
there.
forgot about him. Yeah.
So I'm probably going to go with him on the first
Shane's decent there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he's been. I think running the Outlaws the beginning of the year.
He's definitely
helped
picked
him a
up.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going all the way to Florida.
Yeah.
I know he kind of had some bad luck in Florida, but
It
he got
helps.
it going. I mean, he got it going.
The
good.
more you race on different stuff has to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I left California, went out. Even when Harley, the 5H car, took the chance on me and took me to Knoxville, and I came back home, it seemed like I couldn't do any wrong. No matter what the car did, I could fix it because so many more things happen out here that change. So you learn
A lot of
a lot
different
quicker.
feels.
And I'm saying going to Volusia and going to Vegas is two big parts in what help you out throughout the year.
Go ahead. You have second night.
Rico.
I knew that was coming. That was a no-brainer. I knew. That's once I gave it. I take.
You did
my
give
hand.
it away, and
I-
actually, I saw.
I had to give it
saw a
away.
tweet today that he was building a new car, so I should have known he was going.
I had to. I needed a win. So now,
He's going to trade win for a win. That's not very smart, is it?
well, Tim
There's
Kading.
still other-
Nobody's
there's-
gonna. Nah, I
Tim
don't
Tim
Still other
Kading
people
can
that
run
he doesn't even
anywhere out
remember.
there.
Oh, Tim Kading will be there in that 42 car, right?
Am I right? He can win anywhere.
Yeah, and he was really good last year in the SCCT stuff.
Yeah, but he didn't have a good week 1 with SCCT. So I think maybe that flips back. I'm going to go Tim Kading. I'm going to go Tim. I think Tim's decent.
I'm
But
either
Tim
gonna
hasn't
go-
won a lot in that car. Though.
I'm stuck between either Croft or Kyle. But I think the second night, 2 nights with Kyle, I think Rod will have it going good.
See, Tyner,
Yep.
Okay,
Tyner's
Kyle
deal
Yep,
that
I'm gonna
that
take-
scares me a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
take Kyle.
Why didn't you tell me about this stuff? This is what
I knew.
I didn't even remember
forgot
until
about it.
all of a sudden I'm looking at the paper.
I
I'm trying
knew.
to think,
I
and I'm
knew
like,
he was
oh.
running.
because that was
I
a
went
question
against it.
I had last week was Hurst running because he's one of
No, he's-
last week.
I know
should've
my
had-
first night in Rod's car I won, so
Yeah,
His stuff's fast.
yeah.
yeah, stuff's fast.
Yeah.
So I think Shane Golobick's a guy who's going to finish in the top 5 both nights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm going with Tim. I just have a feeling. So Knoxville Raceway opens. Okay, a lot of who's going to run there. Number one, where's Kerry Madsen go this weekend? Does he go to Devil's Bowl, Knoxville? Does he come to PA? Because Morrison's his engine builder's in PA. A lot of different things.
4 nights here, but weather
Yeah, weather
I
comes
think
into
he
play.
Might go to Texas.
Yeah,
Is he here? He should be back.
yeah. I'm. Oh yeah. They're gonna race. They're gonna race somewhere. So
I'm gonna say Devil's Bowl.
yeah,
Big
I'm
game
thinking
car?
that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
He
they're
went to
gonna
Devil's
run.
Bowl last year.
I think they're gonna run Knoxville.
They have a new 305 series. They started biggest weekly 410 person in the country. So a lot of things going on at Knoxville. I pick first,
Yeah,
and I will be taking Brian Brown.
I knew it. Oh shoot! I'm gonna take Madsen.
What if he's not there?
Then I get to
They-
repick.
no.
Joe
You're
will
going to
say-
eat it.
Joe will.
No. You're eating it now. I was nice twice. Third time I'm not nice.
Twice.
Yeah, I was nice twice.
Twice. I don't remember twice. I remember Lance not being somewhere, and he said he was going.
He did, but I let you pick again.
Okay, then
It's
Lance was actually it was stated. This one's not stated where they're going. So
listen. It doesn't matter. I'm not giving you another one.
will Terry McCarroll be there?
Most likely. See, Devil's Bowl,
Yeah. See, this is sticky. Like who's gonna be there? It's sticky.
Brian Brown might. I mean,
Yeah, but you know why he did this? Because he knew he was gonna have the first pick.
Trey Starks is gonna be there.
yeah.
Trey Starks,
There you go. There you go. See, is that who you're taking?
Absolutely
That's your boy.
not.
That's your boy. Trey Starks.
Sorry, Trey, I'm not picking you.
Who do you got at Knoxville? Go ahead.
Me? Wait, did you pick?
Yeah.
Hey, he took
you
Kerry.
picked Kerry.
He took
Yeah.
Kerry Madsen.
Yep, I'm taking Terry.
Terry McCarroll.
Yeah.
because he's won
My-
like 2 or 3 already this year, and he's
Yeah.
got it going
All right,
pretty
2,
good.
3, 6.
If Kerry's not there.
Oh, he's
No,
gonna
no,
take a
listen.
supplemental
I would,
pick?
I would say I would
Just
take
the draft?
Austin McCarroll.
This is like the draft. Okay, then.
So you know already.
Well, okay, but then if Brian Brown's not there,
All right, I'll tell you what. Put Austin down, okay, and then that way I don't. Then then you won't be crying over spilled milk.
well, wait a minute. If Brian Brown's not there, I would take
Well,
Austin.
then you got problems because you already stated the rules. So I'm
he
changing.
just done picked Austin.
I'm changing my pick to Austin.
You're changing your pick.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys do
Terry.
mulligans or no?
No.
No mulligans. Okay.
No mulligans, and I gave him 2 freebies.
You didn't give me 2.
Port.
What was Port?
Dewease wasn't there.
Yeah, that was it.
No, I gave you another one.
He's on crack.
Sealands Grove Speedway this week. Obviously, car counts something we're going to watch. Trailway Speedway gets underway with 358s this week. And Corey, thank you for coming in.
Yep. Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
It was our pleasure, and good luck this weekend.
Yep. Thank you.
That's going to wrap up this edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Stay tuned to SprintCarUnlimited.com all week for your sprint car needs. We'll have coverage across the country. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned.